Alright, guys, and we are back for, the second in a series of kind of preview videos for Supercoach 2022. Just recently, like maybe last week or so, we had a list come out for like dual position players who's getting a new role or keeping their previous one. I thought I'd make a quick little video on who's kind of important, guys that you kind of want to look for. There's a couple of bargain players that have good utility in terms of they play multiple positions, so they help in trades. You can sub them in and out, but also just for team building. Sometimes you can struggle for like say a F3 or a D3 or something like that. Maybe this helps a little bit. Again, like there's not much to go off. I've only got the one list, and I didn't want to make this going through every single player because I don't think all are that relevant. So I just tried to pick a couple names that I thought were interesting. But yeah, let's get into it. For player number one, we have Jack Crisp, who's kind of the topic of conversation when it comes to discussing the dual position players that were named, him and probably number two. But yeah, with Jack Crisp, you have a player that's defender and mid. He's good in both roles. I'd prefer him as a defender. I don't think he's really that quality to play midfield. I think he could just find better. 566k. I should preface, all these prices are done, like they're not the official price. This is me doing it. I take the average, multiply it by 5,400. Gives you some kind of estimate. I don't see this being, of course, this isn't going to be the exact number they use. It will probably be like 5407 or something like that. You never know, or 5393. Who knows? But yeah, this is just an estimate. I don't see it being that far off. You can kind of plan a team with this. 2021, he had a good year. Came off with pretty much a 105 average. Playing for a kind of lackluster Collingwood side. So I didn't see any off-season moves that make me think that Collingwood's going to be any better this year. So the position, well, the circumstances he's in won't be changing too much. And the last 5 rounds, he actually averaged 121. So that's not bad to end the season. Hopefully some of that goes into the next season. As for some just quick pros and cons, we got some goods. He's in a good scoring position. He kind of plays that midfield, halfback. He gets a lot of the ball. He's a very possession dominant player in a side where there's not really too many people looking for the ball. There's Pendlebury and stuff who will usually have like 25 touches, something like that. But Pendlebury goes down, then this is probably the leading disposal getter for the side. So yeah, that's what you're looking for in a defender. There's not too much competition for his role. I just kind of spoke about this. There was no off-season moves that really make you think that he's going to lose what he already was. They've got like Nick Dacos coming in. Pendlebury isn't changing. Sidebottom's becoming more of a forward as his career kind of winds down. There's not too much going on. Maybe Finlay McRae shows up and actually wants to do stuff this year. Who knows? But as it looks right now, there's no competition for it. The cons to this though, his price, 566 on I wouldn't say unproven because he's obviously 105 average. He's been pretty good in the past as well. It's just he's not. Say you were to put defenders in tiers, he'd be like A tier, whereas you got your Lloyd and your stuff like that who are S tier. So it's a little bit, you're closing in on that 600k mark, where maybe you want something that this guy will score over like say over 105 a game. Really no hassles to it. That's obviously a thing. And like just as I said, inconsistency issues. He's been known to drop like a random 60 or something like that, kind of when you need him, and it just brings your whole score down, it brings your mood down, it makes the week look bad, even though maybe it wasn't all too bad. But yeah, there is a little bit of inconsistency. Just as I was making this, I was looking through his scores and stuff. He did have a couple of like say an 81 or something like that, which not too bad, but remember you are paying 566k, which I think Aaron Hall's around about that price. I haven't had a look, but I think Aaron Hall's around that price, so I'd obviously take Hall over Crisp. But yeah, this is obviously an option, and one that I found cool in the like DPP list they released. Player number 2, we got Mitch Duncan. This is going to be like the string of I think all the next ones are forwards, because we need forwards. If you have had a look at kind of the article and people changing positions, I think the top 5 forwards from last year are now all defender only, which that's it shows that Supercoach, like the Herald Sun scoring system, does kind of need to change. The best forwards are people that don't play forward. That's kind of it. It's beats itself. He comes in. He's a mid forward, priced at 535k. Again, this is kind of one of the high priced guys, high end, top end, whatever. But he does come in with a 99, pretty much 100 average. Just looking through his games, he did have a lot of tons. It's just towards the end of the year, he was playing injured, and it kind of brought down his score. Last 5, he averaged 80. He did have a couple of just nagging injuries last year. He decided to play through them, but it kind of came with, it brought his score down. Probably better for Geelong that he played, but yeah, it is what it is. The pros with him is he's pretty much the model of consistency. He gets 100 in pretty much every game, at least. So there is that. You are paying high price for him, but it's a set and forget type of deal, which is the Gawn and Grundy dynamic. In lack of other forwards, there's just no one else to pick. There is one more, and yes, he's in here as like the top 2 forwards, I'd guess. Again, they haven't like released a full list of players and prices, but yeah. Last year, the 2 forwards that were like the best were Zeeble and Hall, and they were pure defenders. They didn't play a single minute up forward. So yeah, to say there's a lack of forwards this year is kind of an understatement. And the safe rolling team, Geelong's not moving him, to play full forward. The Dangerfield will get parked in the goal square. Duncan's not getting that. You haven't got to worry about him being dropped unless he's injured, of course. But he's safe in the team. The team's like a retirement home, and he kind of fits in there. The cons, though, are the price. Again, like Crisp, he's pretty expensive. He is over 500k, like safely over it. So you do kind of have to plan if you want this guy on your team. Maybe there are other options that closer to 500, maybe a little under, say like 490 in that realm. And his age, like I said, he's 30. That's not too old. I think Lloyd is 31, and like I think 30 years old is like proven to be the prime of the human body. So he should be actually better in like the next 2 years, 3 years maybe. But it's the combination of he's getting up there in age now. There's now a 3 in front of it, and his injury history. He had a couple of injuries last year. I believe he had a shoulder injury the year before, or that might have been last year. I can't remember. So yeah, this pick does come with a couple of injury issues where you just kind of gotta hope and pray that you got lucky this year and he plays a fair amount of games. I don't think he'll ever be like a 20 game player from here on, but if he can get you 18 and there's a couple of weeks you have to bench him, or you trade him out, you bring him back in at a discount, something along those lines. It's a bit of a mess around, but you know, if it's for a good score, then it's for a good score. Player number 3, and God, I hated writing this. Stephen Coniglio, whatever. Cogs, whatever. Position, mid forward. Again, another forward because we kind of need them. And he comes off a season where he didn't play too much, so 20% discount is kind of the normal, just from what I've seen in a couple of discussions in previous years and stuff like that. But it's in brackets because I'm not too sure on how they do it, because they didn't give Tom Mitchell a discount for no reason. They just thought that giving us a midfielder that was that good, can't do that for cheap. So priced at 324k, fairly lower, 200k lower than the last two. But with that 20% discount, he would come down to 259, which at that price, I think the number one rookie, which is, I think, like, what's his name? Jason Horn Francis, something like that. He's 207, so it's 40 odd K more than him. So you could kind of see this as a rookie pick. Zeeble was about this price last year, and you saw like the wonders he did last year for everyone that picked him. Pretty much saved everyone's team. But last year he averaged 60 in a very injured year, and just didn't look good when he did play. So I think there were kind of more injuries than he was letting on. But yeah, if you go to a year where he wasn't as injured, and he was still injured. I think he broke his leg at the end of the year. 2019, he averaged 101, and that's including the game where he got injured and he scored a 0 against Richmond. He got injured in the first minute, something like that. So you take that out, and it's probably a bit higher to 109, maybe 110. He only played 5 games last year, so there's not too much you can tell, differences. But yeah, there was a lot of injuries. But with that comes the pros of he's very low priced if he gets that 20% discount. At 250 for someone that can average over 100 is pretty good, especially for a lacking forward line, which is kind of the overarching factor for all these guys. With his discount, he's only a little bit higher than the rookie price, of the number one pick. 40k when you're down this low isn't too big a deal. If you've got issues fitting this into your team, of course, and whatever. The other guy I'd probably pick that's around this, not probably pick, I'd think about picking, is like Elijah Hollins, who's like a Gold Coast rookie, and he's only like 100, and I think he's 123, 900, the rookie price. So you want something that's even cheaper than this, you got him. Obviously, the major con with every GWS player, and probably why, even at like 200k, I wouldn't instant pick Coniglio, is Leon Cameron is a very bad coach of football, of people, of a sports team. He's, very bad, and you do not want Leon Cameron coached players in your team. Josh Kelly is probably one of the better midfielders in the AFL, and he played in forward pocket for like 6 rounds. Yep. Durability issues. He 5 games last year. He broke his leg the 2019 season. 2020 was just injuries. Leon Cameron, there's no stable position for this guy. He's a midfielder, but if he gets parked forward, Leon Cameron, if there's one coach that's going to park a good midfielder up forward, it's Leon Cameron. And because his price is so low, if this pick flops, you'll have like a lack of ways out. You'll probably have to go to a rookie who perhaps, at the start of the year, there's not too many good rookies, or you get towards the end of the year, there's not too many good rookies. So that is something to think about. But at 259, you should be able to go down to not necessarily basement price rookie, but like a 150k, 150-ish k rookie. So there are ways out. It's just you can't go Cogs to Mitch Duncan or anything like that. You can't go him to a premium player, right? That's what I mean by lack of ways out. Number 4, we've got like this is kind of just a pod player that I was thinking about. I just looked through the list. I saw that he's gotten a new position, so I thought about talking about it. Dan Rioli from Richmond. Again, I said I'm not picking any Richmond or GWS players if I can. He's priced at 333, but he has defensive and forward dual position. So, and this is because towards the end of the year he played a lot of halfback, or it was like pseudo halfback, right? They still had Short playing back there, and Hooley when he was fit, stuff like that. He did have a pretty poor year, 61 point average, but he didn't switch to the good position till like the final 5-6 rounds. That's why like his final 5 average was 84. Even in that, there was a bad game. You take that out, he's probably closer to 90. So there is a bit here in this pick. Very Aaron Hall-esque. Like if you wanted someone that kind of was going to replicate what Aaron Hall did last year, where he was like 300k, came in, and I think he tonned every week but like 2, which that's insane, right? This is probably the best bet to replicate that. He's got the potential to play halfback. He's cheaper. He's 200. Oh, yeah, he's about 200k cheaper than like a Duncan or a Dunkley, something like that. And defensive forward, like it's not many people talk about how much easier that makes it to make trades. If you trade out a forward, you can just chuck him in, like swap it around. It just makes trading a bit easier, but you can get locked there. Like say you put him in the defensive line, it's going to be pretty hard to find another defensive forward that you can sub for him. Maybe there's a rookie defensive forward. Usually they're rookies. Actually, I know there is at least one. An Adelaide rookie, I think. So it does help when you're making trades to just move around, but you could get stuck still. The cons to this one, though, high risk. It's a very high risk. This is kind of just hoping that you can get Aaron Hall 2.0. He did play in a very depleted Richmond side last year. But then saying that, people like Cooley retired. They brought in, I think it was Robbie Tarrant, who's not... I wouldn't see Robbie Tarrant playing halfback. Ball-winning halfback. I don't think so. But, he played in a side that just kind of needed players, so maybe he does end up going back forward, and if he's forward, then this is a no-go. This is a do not pick. Richmond forwards are not pickable. Forwards overall really aren't pickable. They're not consistent enough, but yeah. And there's also like the role security. If he goes on a like form slump, he probably is droppable. He could end up in the VFL. It's kind of just a wait and see, but I thought I'd add this in because he did have a pretty good end to the year, and there's potential there that he does play halfback, which is the like star option you want for the forward line. And just number 5. All right, this is a meme, but Josh Dunkley, just pick him. Just pick him. He'll be like 500, and he'll probably be the highest priced forward, maybe. I think so. Just pick him. Look at his stats between rounds 1 and 6. He was like 130 average. Like I think it was like 123 average. He puts up like video game numbers, honestly. Like he has like 35 touches, 2 goals, 10 tackles. Like he's insanely good. If he's fit, which it looks like he is, like from news reports and stuff like that, he looks fit. If he's fit, you pick him. It's that simple. Yeah, like it's like Mo Salah in the Premier League. If he's fit, you pick him. That's how it goes. There's not really much here. I was contemplating just not putting him on, but he is a mid forward. He does have DPP, so probably should talk about him. And to talk about him, you just say, just pick him. Just pick him. Number 6, we have Adam Treloar. Another mid forward. This is the last play I'll go over. This is already 20 minutes. 479k. That's it's under 500, like fairly under 500. 2021 average of 88.8. But through the first 6 rounds where he was playing predominantly midfield, it was kind of before his injury. He almost averaged a ton. He averaged 97, and that's with a like 61 score in there where I think he was subbed off. Pros, consistent scoring for a Supercoach forward, which is all you want. You want someone that can kind of go for that ton. Look, I think the forward position this year is probably going to be the hardest it's ever been. Where the most difficult, the previous most difficult was last year. You probably just want people that can get up to a ton, that can do it. I think F6 is going to be a mess this year, probably a rookie. And someone like this that has a lowered price, this guy's usually like 550k when he was playing for Collingwood. Granted, that was in a Collingwood side where he was always playing midfield. I think this is a good pick if you're struggling to fit someone into your forward line. I'll definitely think about it when it comes to actually making my team, which I think the gold players will have it open a couple of days before Christmas. This has been recorded on the 12th, so maybe like 2 weeks from now it should open. For gold players, that is. Not me. So, Herald Sun is not getting my money. The cons to this, though, Adam Treloar is very, very injury prone. It is pretty much a meme at this point. He will have at least 1 injury a year where he'll miss time. And for someone that's actually still quite young, that's kind of a worry. How long is his career going to go for? And he could struggle for midfield time, right? So the Dogs mids, he got Bont, McRae, Treloar, Dunkley, Bailey Smith, Lockie Hunter, who's more of a wing, but maybe every now and then he'll go in. You've got a lot of midfielders there, and that's why in the grand final Treloar was playing forward, even though there was a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute stretch where Treloar was carrying the team from the midfield. So maybe he goes back there, and by awkward price, all I mean is, he's not 500k, so you probably have to make up like 30, 40k to get to a 500k target. So there is a little bit of awkwardness there, but it's not probably too big a deal. But yeah, that's all I've got. These are 6 players, or 5 players really, like Dunkley doesn't count, that you should probably keep in mind. None of them were, oh my god, I never thought of this guy, but just kind of a reminder to get gears moving in people's heads, who should you look at. Probably do a follow-up to this, which is like 5 players to completely avoid. I can already tell you now, Dangerfield is one of them, and Fife is the other one. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Tasty out.